Hi there, I'm Brittany with the Gaia Project, and for today's Trash Thursday Climate Quest, I'm going to talk to you about what you can and can't put into compost, and a little bit about the different types of composting systems you can do at home. When making compost, it's important to remember the ratio of browns, which are high carbon, to greens, which are high nitrogen, in order to have healthy compost. Browns can consist of things like dried leaves, cardboard, and sawdust, while greens are things like fresh leaves or grass clippings, food scraps, or trimmings from plants. Typical combinations are 3 or 4 parts brown to 1 part green placed in alternating layers. Layering is the most common way to set up compost in both piles and stationary containers, providing equal distribution of the carbon and nitrogen. This is a clip that shows us how to layer for a compost pile. Here's a little bit about what you should and shouldn't put into a compost. Whole vegetables and vegetable peels are common kitchen scraps that many people have in their homes. You can toss almost all of your vegetables into the compost. Adding whole citrus fruits, like oranges, lemons, and limes, can make the compost more acidic, which can alter the soil that the compost is used on. When adding them, you should also make sure to add something like grass clippings to counter any change to the acidity levels. Also, depending on your method of compost, you may need to remove the seeds to make sure that they do not grow. Whole eggs are another thing that you need to be careful about when you compost. While you can compost them, as they decompose they give off strong unpleasant odors and can attract pests. It is also important that you pay attention to the balance of your compost and try to add them in the center along with high carbon items. Never add plastic bottles, metal cans, or milk cartons to your compost. Meat and dairy products should not be added to the compost due to their smell as they break down and the tendency to attract pests. Now we're going to talk about the styles of composting for your type of home. You can compost just about anywhere, from an apartment to a huge plot of land, but how much space you have determines what kind of composting method you can use. In an apartment, you cannot do pile methods of composting because there just isn't enough space, but you can make use of smaller, space-friendly composting units that you can purchase or make for yourself. You can also use a vermicomposting method in an apartment, utilizing worms to help the decomposition process of the food. There are also far less odors from a vermicomposting bin because everything is broken down faster. Composters are another good method to compost if you do not have a whole lot of space. There are various styles of composters that you can buy at garden centers. Some are stationary that you mix on your own, while others can be rolled or spun in order to mix up the content inside. Some styles also have spigots at the bottom that allow for the collection of compost tea, which is a nutrient-rich liquid that comes off the compost. It is beneficial for gardens and can be used in houseplants as well. Pile compost methods are suitable for places that have a yard. Composting in piles is an easy way to make a lot of compost at once. It can be done hot or cold, with the difference being cold requires far less maintenance. But it will take a year or two before you have any finished product when compared to hot composting. You can also aerate your compost pile to further speed the process along. As Jimmy demonstrated on Monday, you can also store things for compost to add to the pile after winter. You just need to make sure that you have enough space to keep your compostable items until you can access your pile again. Thanks for joining me today on Gaia's Climate Quest activity. I hope you had fun and learned something new. Don't forget to share your comments, questions, and pictures on our social media feeds using the hashtag Gaia Climate Quest for your chance to win a high-quality Gaia Project water bottle. Before we go, I just want to thank our sponsors who make this series possible. Thank you to the McCain Foundation and MB Power.